Although The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power released an amazing episode, this fact will be more difficult to acknowledge because of one dubious scene. All of this culminates in these last 2 episodes of Season 2, when the siege of a region materializes in full. Prime Video has the opportunity to demonstrate that, based on its current track record. This rendition of The Lord of the Rings is worthy of praise. A single canon shift has the potential to overshadow much of the action, shocks, and stunning performances seen in Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 7. Celebrimbor's illusory world finally starts to fall apart in The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power's second-to-last episode, forcing the Lord of a region to face the grim reality of his city. The orcs are here in full force, and they've even dammed the river to get access to the walls of a region. Elrond and Gil-galad approach in a flash of brilliance, but Galadriel, an Adar prisoner, stops them in their tracks. And then there's Sauron, of course, whose deceit and manipulation in Rings of Power's most impactful episode to date strain viewers' perceptions to the edge. Finally, since Amazon revealed that there would be a Lord of the Rings TV series, fans may look forward to all that is promised in The Lord of the Rings. The Rings of Power Season 2, Episode 7. The first scene of the show maintains the magnificent Middle-earth landscapes for which it is already renowned, but this time, Celebrimbor's Forge's lovely vista is utilized to contrast with the terrible reality of a region's fate. In this episode, Charles Edwards gives an exceptionally strong portrayal of the Lord of a region. The elf is experiencing a mixed emotional state of cognitive dissonance and painful clarity as he realizes the full scope of Anatar's lie. Epic fantasy battles are a hallmark of The Lord of the Rings, and Peter Jackson's films set the standard very high with these kinds of scenes. This was made possible by Rings of Power's TV format, which allowed Prime Video to produce fight scenes that lasted for hours and captured every nuance of intensity. Expectations for this legendary Second Age event were raised because the siege of a region has previously been hinted at as a 2-episode event. Fortunately, Episode 7 of Rings of Power Season 2 did not let us down. These sequences have the same intense action-packed feel as Jackson's fight scenes. This chapter seems to have dispelled any doubts about the Rings of Power, because to its combination of fantastical action, like as Eredin's catastrophic fight, and psychological warfare with Sauron and Celebrimbor. Regretfully, one scene has the potential to spark a firestorm of criticism and debate. In the 7th episode of Season 2, Elrond planted a kiss on Galadriel when he tried to rescue her from Adar's grip. It was a big surprise that these two ever had a romantic relationship in the canon of The Lord of the Rings, since they never did. In this sequence, Aramayo and Marfide Clark once again gave outstanding performances. Their expressions show a wide range of emotions in a little period of time, and Elrond's bravery in trying to save his companion is quite remarkable. But Prime Video knew exactly what it was doing when it made this kiss, and it's a little disappointing that such a great episode will be overshadowed by the drastic shift in the way that people perceive the relationship between these two characters. Whether the kiss is sincere or just a ruse, the drama is more fantasy action than soap opera. When it comes to a book-to-film adaptation like Rings of Power, which is based on Tolkien's textbook-like books, change is inevitable. Even though Prime Video had to include extra characters, details, and background that weren't in the original work, even the smallest adjustments have sparked criticism from a certain group of Tolkien fans. Controversy has surrounded everything from the introduction of original or Third Age characters to the ethnicity and look of specific performers. Rings of Power can't stop this from happening, but it doesn't have to get much worse.